Welcome to Mallet and Michelle on Dripping Springs, hosted by me, the famous Michelle Lewis.
Oh, please.
And Steve Mallet.
Please. I'm not sure there's... Oh, you threw me off of that. You threw me off of that. I'll just let it go. Let it go. And just plain old Steve Mallet.
And Steve.
Yeah, here I am, folks.
And Steve. And who's our guest today,
Our
Steve?
guest is Chelsea Schizas.
Chelsea Schizas.
Little Loretta's.
Little Loretta's. She is a lash artist here in Dripping Springs, esthetician.
I'm actually kind of excited about this because I know diddly about lashes.
I have something that's kind of icky about lashes in general that I'm going to bring up.
Oh, great. Yeah.
So, but it's not about, like, Chelsea is amazing. She is the top master. She's amazing at her craft. Totally amazing.
Yeah, I think I met her at Founders Day last year.
And unfortunately for me, I'm allergic to eyelash.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, like I've done it several times, and everything we try, I'm super sensitive.
And your eyes all swell up. And
they did.
And you're so beautiful with those lashes.
Right before Tate's wedding, my eyes were so swollen, and I was like, take these things off. Yeah, so that's just me. But I'm a unicorn. I'm allergic to Band-Aids, so you can't use me as a.
Okay. Are you really?
I am. I get whelps from Band-Aids.
Huh.
It's medical
latex?
adhesives, latex medical adhesives, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Holly has a allergy to latex, so if you put a latex Band-Aid on her, she gets hives.
It's the redheadish. Yep, that's probably what it is. Yep.
Hey, you saw Bruce Springsteen in the Moody Center.
You know, I have to tell you, I'm not really I'm a big Bruce Springsteen's fan. You know, I'm an 80s girl, right? That was an amazing concert. He's like 72 years old.
I saw some pictures of him. He's still got a lot of energy.
He was hot to trot.
Not Mick Jagger energy, but he's got some. Yeah.
No.
Oh, come on, Mick Jagger.
I told you. He looks like a weasel. He looks like a weasel. Yeah. But Bruce Springsteen, I was super impressed, and he didn't say one thing that was political, off-putting, because I was like, okay, that's where I'm going to be out. I'm out. But he didn't.
I think that's something from sort of the past, the stars from, the 70s and 80s and 90s tried to stay away from that stuff, and it was all about the music.
I hope so.
Now the new people want to use their influence and their sway to change political opinion. He's
been very vocal about his views. That's fine. But when I'm sitting in a concert venue and I want to listen to someone sing, just shut up and sing.
Yeah, well, I agree. Yeah, let me enjoy the music.
Yeah.
Well, the Moody Center actually just got voted the world's best concert venue by Polestar, official trade publication.
It is an amazing venue. There are no obstructed views in the world. Well, I haven't been to everyone in the world. I've been to a lot of music venues. There's no real obstructions. The sound at Frank Irwin, the sound was awful because it would bounce off certain ways, and you would just hear echoes. Yeah. It's clear wherever you're sitting. That's
what they were saying. Yeah. So this Polestar official trade publication is like the magazine for live music venues. So, it's worldwide. And they said the Moody Center was the best place for music in the whole world.
Well, that is cool.
And so it's only been open a couple years, right?
Maybe. Yeah. I think George opened it, I think.
Yeah. They've already had 1 million people seated for concerts in there for concerts, and they've had 91 events so far. Wow. So that place it's getting after it.
Yeah, I missed. I wanted to go to the Kojo concert on Saturday, and I missed that.
I saw some pictures of that. Who or what is Kojo?
Cody Johnson.
Oh.
I'm actually seeing him in 2-3 weeks at the Houston Rodeo. I've seen him several times.
He country?
He's country, but he is amazing. He puts on a hell of a concert.
I need to get out more often.
Well, there's people at concerts, so maybe that's probably
true. Yeah.
It's after 8:00.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could hang.
When you were at that Springsteen concert, did you have anybody take any pictures of you, like somebody that wasn't part of your party? Ask somebody, hey, can you take our picture real quick?
Yeah, or I'll always volunteer. But I did. Oh wait, can I tell you my real quick Bruce Springsteen story?
Sure.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we went there with three other girls, and they went to go get drinks. And I was like, I'll stay here. All of our coats were here. And these people in front of us walked in with like a satchel on them. And I was like, well, that's weird because I have to have like a clear purse to get in here. How did they get in there? Now, I had a couple of cocktails prior. But
So you walked right up to him and said...
No, they're sitting right in front of me. And they unzipped the satchel and out popped the head of a cat.
Get out of here. At the Springsteen concert?
At the Springsteen. It's like, boop, here was a little kitty cat. And he looked around and then they shoved his head back in the satchel. And the only thing I could think of is the reason why they had that satchel, they let them bring it in, was because it was an emotional support animal.
Give me a break.
I don't know, but like I thought, okay, so yes, I take pictures for people all the time. I'll grab their camera if I see they're trying to take selfies, and I'll say, hey, you want me to take that for you?
So there's a reason I'm asking. I was reading this article the other day about theft of iPhones and people's identities, and it's actually becoming rampant. And one of the ways that people can get your passcode for your phone is offer to take a picture. And I was thinking how many times this has happened to me. And they hold it up and they say, oh, the phone turned off. What's your passcode real quick? And then you tell them your 4-digit passcode.
And they run off with it?
Well, they either run off with it or they come back later and steal it. And if you think about it, I know I had the same look on my face, like these degenerates, what's wrong with these people? But it's actually happening quite a bit.
That's got to be like a big city kind of...
It's usually happening in nighttime events, concerts, bars, places like that. But the other way they do it is shoulder surfing. So you're sitting with all your friends and they're looking over your shoulder and they watch you put your passcode in on your phone. And then they know what it is. And then they watch for an opportunity to steal your phone.
Oh, well, good luck, buddy. I will chase you down.
Well, and a lot of times they're stolen. You know, you were saying you had a couple drinks. They're stolen. People don't even realize it till later. And the first thing they do is they change your Apple ID. It's mostly iPhones that's happening. They change your Apple ID password. You can't get into your phone anymore. Oh. You can't use Find My Phone. So that information's gone. They have access to think about everything that's on your phone. Mm. I have banking apps. I have Venmo. I have Apple Pay. I mean, my investment accounts. I have an app for that. They would have access to all of that, and you would because you don't have you can't use Find My Phone. You can't wipe the phone clean. Mm. They have access to all that. They can sit down there and take advantage of all those things. And apparently, Apple hasn't been very much help when this happens to people and they get locked out of their phones. So. It's actually starting to become kind of a big thing. There was a ring of people doing this, and they stole at least 40 victims over the course of a couple months, and they got over $300,000. They're cleaning out people's bank accounts, and
that's pretty scary. We are so dependent on our phones. I mean, admittedly, I am very dependent on my phone, but
our whole life is in these phones.
You know, I saw something because, you know, you have those short-term rentals, and I saw something, there was like what do they call them? Facebook group. And somebody was saying that, they didn't have a cell phone and they were really ticked off because Airbnb is a cell phone platformed app that if they don't have who the heck doesn't have a cell phone anymore? But because all of the codes for doors and everything are sent.
That's right.
And but I was thinking, who doesn't have a cell phone anymore? Just about everybody has a cell phone.
You at least have to have email.
Yeah.
Because you can interact with guests via email. Yeah, but you're right. Who doesn't have a cell phone, everyone?
I don't know.
Anymore. But this article that I read had some suggestions on how to stop it, how to overcome this possibly happening to you. One is every time you're in a public place and you put your passcode in to kind of, hold your phone up close.
Like if you're at the ATM.
Yeah.
Remember back in the days?
Yeah, remember that?
ATM?
You hold your hand there so
you
put your code in.
Yeah.
I know. The other one is, most of us have a 4-digit passcode to start up our phones. They recommend a 6-digit because it's harder for somebody to see 6 digits.
Todd has 18-digit passcode.
You can go into your settings and put in a longer passcode.
I think his is required because of work because he has,
that makes sense.
All his engineering nerd stuff on
The other one is a lot of the apps you can put in different passcodes. So you could, you have your login.
I can't even freaking remember one passcode at the time. How am I supposed to put different passcodes? Because my passcodes are in my passcode protected passcode wall.
I'm telling you. But if they get in there, they have access to all of that. So you add a separate passcode. The thing that throws people off is, well, if I get that 2-party authentication where, you log in and it says, oh, we're going to text you this 6-digit code. The thief has your phone. So that doesn't work.
That's true. Like when my Instagram was hacked and if you were on my old Instagram, Mama Lewis TX, that is not me. I am not asking for Bitcoin. Please stop thinking I'm doing that.
That's why you're so famous.
I am now Mama Lewis, Texas.
Yes.
And if I don't know you, I don't accept you. Yeah.
Smart.
But all of my years and years of Instagram, they got into they got my Instagram.
You can see it, but you can't do anything with it.
Well, no, I can't see it on my own because I had it private. But I have to get into Todd's or somebody else's or one of our other platforms that I use.
Sad. I wish some of these low lifes would spend as much time trying to do good things for the world instead of stealing from people.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah. Here's a couple more. A lot of people take pictures of like their social security card, their driver's license, their passport to keep in their phone.
Your credit card.
Credit cards. Delete all that stuff from your phone. Because if they get in there, that's even more ways they can.
You sound like the police right now.
Yeah. And the last one is if your phone is stolen, sign into your iCloud account and wipe that phone immediately. I mean, like stop everything you're doing and wipe that phone immediately. And then change all your passwords on, all your big accounts, your financial accounts, and just change them immediately.
How about people just stop being jerks and taking things that don't belong to them?
I know. I was thinking about this the other day with my real estate business. I spend an hour of my day every day deleting spam texts, spam emails, answering calls that I go, oh, maybe it's a lead and it's some guy. Hey, this is so-and-so and we're, this website, realestategurus.com. Can I sell you an ad? And it's ridiculous. It's like, people, go get a real job, please. Do something productive. You're just scamming people.
I like it when you're in a grumpy mood and you get one of those, and then we all, Cedric and I laugh.
What was I can't remember the last one.
No, you said
Steve is dead. Don't call anymore.
No, you said, I've been given 5 days to live, and I really don't have time to be dealing with this right now. And the person's like,
Thanks for calling.
Thanks for calling.
Yeah.
So, Chelsea is from California. She moved here from Bakersfield,
I want to talk to her about that.
So did you know, now I actually thought this was much higher, but according to this census, the Texas Real Estate, Texas Real Estate Association, that 1 out of every 10 people moving to Texas come from California. So, I thought it was higher.
Year?
This was in 2022. Okay. 1 out of every 10, which I thought was really interesting. But my WTF-ish facts, I was going to talk about the California exodus and people moving to Texas and some things that you should know or some just kind of weird things. Do you know that there's that proposed exit/wealth tax that could moving out of California, not necessarily into Texas, but it could potentially tax you when you're leaving. It's up like 0.4%. Now, granted, there's an income threshold on that, but they want to tax you when you leave California.
The scariest part of that for me is they're not going to tax you on your income, which it's ridiculous that once you leave a state, the state should have any control over you at all. They want to tax you on your wealth.
Yes.
So if you've worked your whole life, you come up with great ideas, you've hired people, you've built businesses, and you're worth, say, $20 million, and maybe last year you didn't make any money because maybe the market changed or something. They want to tax you on your $20 million, even though you didn't sell anything. You don't have any money. Some of these people don't have any money in the bank.
Yeah.
So you got to sell something to pay their stupid tax.
I think it's the proposed amount was $30 million. But, that's a lot of money.
Here's the thing. They start out at those kind of numbers. It will eventually affect everybody.
Yeah,
That's the way they do it.
But it hasn't passed yet, as far as I can tell. It
hasn't. If
you're wanting to leave California, what do you think one of the hardest things to obtain is?
A rental truck.
A U-Haul. Mm-hmm. You're right. More wheels from U-Haul left California than any other state in 2022. And Texas was the top destination. California has had one of the greatest net losses of U-Haul since 2016. It's been in the top number 1 since 2016, but also landed in one of the lowest growth spots, meaning people going to California too.
Oh, yeah.
So good luck trying to get a U-Haul. I'm wondering, I heard a while ago, I'm wondering if you just want to take a U-Haul, you want to drive it back. Do they like give you money back for driving it back?
I think you can do it for very cheap. So that's actually, instead of putting all the miles on your car, go rent a little small U-Haul. Yeah, sleep in the back.
Yeah.
Save yourself some hotel room.
That's right.
Money.
Well, so considering what's been going on the last couple of weeks, moving to Texas, obviously we're not California, but it snowed in Napa.
It snowed. Yeah, I know.
And it's crazy. But here you need to expect warmer weather and then cooler weather and then warmer weather and then rain, but then back to mosquitoes.
Yeah, that's on Monday.
It's Monday. It's all in one day. It's all in one day. Texas, we don't have any state taxes, right? But we have higher property taxes. Higher property.
But overall, it works out much better to live in Texas than California tax-wise.
That's right. So, and also here in Texas, we say hello. We say, how are you? We smile. We just like a friendly.
We wave on backcountry roads.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Hey, how are you? Kind of thing. We're just a little bit friendlier.
Yep.
There's more to Texas than cowboys and cactuses. Okay, so
without a doubt.
We have the food, the live music, the music festivals. The amount of music festivals that we have in Texas is crazy. Like you were talking about the Moody Center, which is pretty cool. Texas, we're very dog friendly, which has kind of freaked out my backyard neighbors. Because so we have dogs. Mm-hmm. My children have dogs. My friends have dogs.
California is not dog friendly?
Well, they said, is this a Texas thing? Or what? Because people come over, they bring their dogs. But, it's like when we're outside by the pool. Todd hates other dogs in our house. He doesn't like that, except unless it's our sons or kids' dogs. But, I think that one time we had like 10 dogs. But
oh, my gosh, Michelle.
So it drives them crazy. But
that would drive me crazy.
We also have NASA, right?
Yes.
NASA, and we also have SpaceX. Mm-hmm. So we're pretty involved in the space exploration of... maybe the aliens will skip
Houston
over us.
has been the center for space exploration since the 60s, late 50s.
Well, now Brownsville down in the valley with Elon and his SpaceX. I think a lot of people are shocked to find that we're very film friendly here in Texas. Smithville, Bastrop. I think it wasn't Walking Dead, but it was like Return of the Walking Dead. But there's a lot of movies that have been filmed in series. I think it's kind of funny that when a Hollywood series tries to do their take on Austin or Texas, like I think there's a show called 911 Lone Star or Lone Star 911. It is so bad. Like actually
makes us all look like crack addicts living in mobile homes.
Well, yes and no. Yeah, we all talk like this and there's tumbleweeds, but there was a road sign like going off the highway. They were driving and it said to Belterra. Like it was like the city of Belterra, which I thought was pretty funny. A big thing that I think is shocking to some people is that open carry is something that you need to kind of get used to here. We take the Second Amendment very seriously. Mm-hmm. And so don't think you're gonna shame somebody for the open carry.
You know what's funny is a lot of people that have moved here from California, they get kind of a bad rap. And you and I have helped with that.
Yes. Yeah.
But a lot of those people are leaving California because they hate the politics. And they're coming to Texas because we have the politics that they like. So we should most of those people, we should embrace them. They come here because we're more about property rights and freedom and not necessarily open carry, but license to have a firearm, or not license, permission to have a firearm. But the problem with California is all the people that are left, they're all Democrats. They're all liberal. That state is never going to change because it's more and more blue every year.
Yeah.
Because all the people that would have maybe made things a little more middle of the road, because there's always a give and take when there's two parties. There's not really two parties now. Most of the people that are red have left. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of sad. Well, and the other thing is, all these cars coming here from California, the little Prius cars that drive in our fast lane.
The Prius cars? The Prius?
Toyota, whatever. The little cheapy
Prius?
Cars.
Yes. You said Prius?
Whatever.
Well, that was part of one of my other things. Is like here in Texas, you need a car. So that's exactly to what you were saying. It's like all these regulations that they're trying to say, these electric cars. How are you going to get? How are you going to get from here to Lubbock with the charging El Paso with a charging station?
That's true.
Right?
Yep.
So that was one of my things. But the biggest thing is that, look, Texans, we love Texas, and we're proud, loud, and we show it. Yes. We wear it on shirts. We have flags. We have stickers. We have rooms decorated.
We do fireworks on 4th of July.
We do fireworks. So welcome to Texas. And,
yes,
that's my spick, and I'm sticking to it.
Work to call yourself a Texan as fast as humanly possible.
Yeah, and change your license plates really quick.
Right away. And don't drive 54 miles an hour in the left lane, please.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true.
All right. Hey, take a little break and get Chelsea in here.
Let's go.
This portion of the show is brought to you by the Mallet Integrity Team of real estate professionals. They are based in Dripping Springs and bring you over 45 years of combined experience helping people reach their hill country real estate dreams. When you want the best in town, call them at 512-829-2062 or look them up at malletintegrityteam.com. And now, here's Steve and Michelle.
Welcome back, Miss Chelsea. Hi.
Welcome to the show, Chelsea.
That was really quiet. She's not a quiet person.
Let me turn her up then.
Hi.
Yeah,
there you go. There you go.
So you're the owner of Little Lauretta's?
Yes.
I had Little Lauretta's Lash Studio and Little Lauretta's Powder Room. Is it Powder Room?
I wanted it to be something that was a little catchier and not like the normal slogan. People are like beauty bar or lash studio or salon. But yeah, I was like, I kind of want to go for like a southern, like old groovy vibe. So
and
cool.
The name is
my mother. Yeah.
Aww,
it's named after my mom.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's great. What's the powder room part?
I mean, you go to a powder room to freshen up and look cute.
That makes sense.
So come on down to our powder room.
Hey, I'm just going to be completely dumb. I'm the male part of this show. We're going to talk about lashes. I don't know anything about that stuff.
We're going to talk about that later, though, right? We're going to talk about that later because Chelsea actually moved from California, much like you. She moved from California to Texas.
What year?
2012. So
okay,
I try to say that I came here before all the other ones did.
No, I was the first one. 2023 or 2003 was for me.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it was.
Got 10 years on me.
Yeah, it was a little different back then, but I couldn't wait to get out of California. Why did you leave?
I actually moved here with someone who was in the oil fields, and the oil fields are booming in Texas generally. So that's what brought us out here. And I just fell in love with Texas, and I ended up going to beauty school in San Antonio. So
okay, yeah. And what part of California?
Bakersfield.
Yeah. What do they call that? The Middle Valley or something like that?
I call it the armpit, but some people refer to it as like the Bakersfield Sound, like Buck Owens, Merle Haggard. They're all from there.
Oh, is that right? I didn't know that. That's cool.
So it's like my little Texas.
Chelsea, did your ideology, did it change when you moved here to Texas, or were you already kind of like, things are weird here in California? Like I'm just not feeling it.
I always wanted to get out of California. Mm-hmm. You could ask my mom.
As a matter of fact, I have her on the phone right now. Mom,
hey, Lauretta. Where I grew up is not like a great place. It's not like what you see on TV, the beach and LA and all that flashy life of California. It's not like that at all. It's very oil fields. There's a lot of homeless and poverty in that area. So I was ready to get out. I wanted more for myself. Definitely.
Yeah. And so now you're here, you're a business owner, and you are very vocal a lot of times about how you feel about kind of what's going on in the world. And that's what I kind of gravitated towards you, is that you don't mince meat when it comes to how you feel.
Yeah.
How are you feeling with what's going on in California right now?
I'm really sad about it. My family still lives there. So my mom and my dad
Are they still in Bakersfield?
Mm-hmm, yeah. Still in Bakersfield. My sister, my nieces and nephews are all out there. So yeah, I'm not too happy about it. It's pretty sad to see.
Have they thought about moving?
My mom said she would move here in a heartbeat. My dad will not move to Texas.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Not a
Why
fan.
do you think?
Because he likes the climate of California. I'll just say that.
Yeah, I like the climate of California too when it's August here. It gets a little warm. But
sometimes the climate could be more more than weather too.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. Okay. Woo, went right over my head. Yeah.
But my mom is actually going to come and stay with me when I have the baby, and she's going to stay here for a couple months with us and help.
That's cool.
Help get acclimated.
And when do you do?
July 16th.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's going to be a big change for you.
First time mama, and you're having a little boy.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome.
She'll be here. She'll soak it up. She'll love it.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, you got to have somebody to support you the first couple weeks at least.
Yeah.
First 18 years.
Yeah. I'm like, can you just move in?
Yeah,
Can you just stay with us?
What do you think was the hardest thing moving here as far as like culture shock?
Oh my gosh. I remember when I first moved to Texas, it was weird how much Texans loved Texas. It was very strange.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, I'll never say y'all. Like, I'll never be obsessed with, and now I'm just like, y'all.
Yep. It's true. It just sinks in.
Yes.
My daughter lives in Michigan, and she says that everybody there picks on her about her Texas accent, which I don't even think she has a Texas accent, but apparently she does.
But maybe now.
It's the best one though.
It
like
is.
If I want any accent, I want it to be Southern.
Yeah. Well,
I'm with you. I'm with you. Yeah. Much better than New York or New Jersey.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, up there in Michigan, Wisconsin.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I've also lived there in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
They've got an interesting one. I'll say that.
When did you decide you wanted to be a business owner?
Oh my gosh. I don't know that I ever decided, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah. It found me, I feel like, kind of got forced into that direction in a way. I just wanted more for myself, and the places that I was working at weren't providing what I wanted to grow in my career. So I kind of took that step because I felt like it was time.
Yeah.
But I don't think I ever wanted it.
Really?
Yeah.
How long did you work in other studios before you did your own?
Okay, let's see. So I graduated beauty school in 2014 and got started in like a lash chain.
Okay.
And I worked there for almost 3 years. And then I went to work for another like more small business owner, which was cool because I got the best of both worlds. You know, I got to experience more of a corporate environment and then a small business owner environment. And I worked for her for about 3 years as well. So about 5 to 6 years. Roughly.
It's a whole different thing working for a corporation, right? Because you just probably were working on people walking in.
Yeah. It was very fast paced.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then now you're probably working on, you've got to go out and cultivate business, build people to walk in the front door. I mean, well, now you're probably established. There's probably multiple, but starting in the beginning, you got to bring your own business in. That's hard.
Yeah. Working for the corporate environment, it was good because they kind of provided all of that for me. It was a lower price service. Yeah. So, you really had a lot of foot traffic coming in because of that cheaper price. So it really helped me to gain like knowledge because you got to work quick.
Oh yeah.
And then when I was in the small business owner environment, I got to kind of slow down and like really hone in on what I wanted to do skill wise and technique wise. So I had that time a little bit more, and I had to build relationships more. So I got to learn that. And now, being a salon owner, I'm just trying to help my team now learn the things that I've been able to learn in such a long period of time and kind of give them that so they don't have to take their time learning it.
Yeah. Do you learn all that stuff from the School of Hard Knocks, or did somebody mentor you through this? Because it's different, like working in a lash studio for a corporation and owning your own business. Not only do you have to be good at your trade, you have to be, a business person, an accountant, you have to do all these things. How'd you learn all that stuff?
I've never had like one set mentor. I would say that those experiences kind of mentored me, what I wanted to do and kind of what I didn't want to be, and what I wanted to create for other women or men, if they want to do lashes too, y'all hit me up.
I was going to ask you that.
I would love that. But for other women that want to work in an environment where, hey, you want to learn this technique, I want to help you figure that out. What kind of classes can we look at? Maybe I don't have that education and I can't show you exactly. So let's look at how we can get you that.
Yeah.
I don't think Steve understands the whole kind of mechanics of it. It's like, why do women want to do this, right?
Actually, it's one of my biggest questions because, man, we're clueless. Well, it's like
my opinion, like in my total opinion, is that you can get lashes and you don't have to do the rest of your face. Mm-hmm. Your face is done because people are looking at your eyes. But I mean, she's, like I said, she's an amazing artist. But is that kind of the consensus of why women want to get the lashes, or?
Yeah, I think for me, I like to describe it as like, you know how you highlight and contour your face with foundation? You can do that with lashes on your eye.
I don't know how you do that.
So we have a lot of trickery, us women.
Yes.
No, but you can do that with lash extensions. You can create different styles. There's different lengths. There's different textures. So it's not just like, oh, I'm putting a lash on a lash. No, you can create totally different maps that change the shape of people's eyes. And I mean, that's what people look at when they're talking to you. You're looking at their eyes. So
I want you to explain the process to him, because I can do a horrible job of, because this is my experience as someone that's getting it done.
Yeah.
Is that she has these amazing beds, beds like no other beds, no other lash studio.
They were the most expensive thing I bought when I did my bed.
They're the coolest beds.
Okay.
Yeah, they're really cool beds. But anyways, you lay there. She tapes.
Is it like a massage bed?
No.
It's form fitted, so it relieves pressure points on all part of your body when you're laying down, because you do lay down for quite an extended period of time when you're getting your initial sets.
Okay.
And so it just helps with those pressure points.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so you lay down, right? And she tapes your eyes shut, basically.
Yeah. Oh, am I?
I'm just moving it back a little bit.
We can.
Go ahead. So go ahead. You're laying down. You're on
laying
a
down.
special pressure point table, and are your eyes taped?
Well,
shut,
you
literally?
get your explain it.
Okay, so you want to tape the bottom lashes down so we don't glue your eye completely shut, because that would be
that
horrific.
would be good.
Yeah.
And so basically you apply that bottom tape to the bottom lashes, and then you keep your eyes closed. We like to map them out with what style that we decided on in our consultation, what's going to look best for that client's eye shape. And then we will follow that map, applying one lash to every natural lash. And then again, it goes into more detail of different curls and different lengths and different textures.
You should see his face right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
His face is like, yes, one lash, one to one
hair. Yep, just like
you glue it on?
Yep, we glue it on with a medical grade adhesive.
Holy cow.
And they can last anywhere. I mean, they can last up to 6 weeks if you just get it done one time. But if you want to get them filled, like people fill their nails and stuff, you'll reapply them every 2 to 3 weeks.
Filled meaning there's some that fall out and you get them redone. Wow.
Yeah, so they naturally shed I would say every day you're losing at least 1 or 2, naturally shedding, and they shed at different times.
Yeah, my beauty preparation is a bar of dial soap in the shower. That's it. That's all I do. Wow.
You'd be surprised how much my husband knows about lashes at this point.
I bet.
He's like, how do I know this?
So kind of on the ick factor, right? I wanted to kind of gross Steve out a little bit and talk about eyelash mat.
I haven't been grossed out in like 10 minutes.
Have you ever heard of mites in your eyelashes?
I have, actually.
So everyone, from what I was reading, everyone just has a small amount of mites in their eyes, but it's when they start to get bigger, when it's a hygiene issue, and they eat the dead skin cells and oils on your eyelids, and they actually can lay eggs in the lash follicles. So
okay.
So with that, like, we're not naming names here, but what's like the one client that you've had sit down? Like, obviously you can fire clients too.
Is it like when kids have lice and they go to the barber, if you see those mites on there, you can't work on them, or how's that?
So you just have to have like a really, really in-depth conversation with that client. Like, this is what you need to be doing to cleaning your lashes. And we provide all of that, not provide it, but we have all of that for purchase in our salon, for cleanliness, especially if someone's got like a deeper issue. Some people can be overproducers of oils, so that's where that buildup can get worse. Okay. The thing that you want to be aware of is that it can create an infection in the eye if they're really not taking care of them, which sometimes it can be called like blepharitis, and you'll see like redness of the lash line. And you're asking what the worst?
Yeah, what's the worst one that you've had sit down? And you probably not since you've been a business owner, but probably when you were working early on, right?
Actually, I feel like I've been lucky, but I'm an overeducator. Like, I probably annoy people more than most, so that they're cleaning their lashes. Because the last thing I want is for them to get an infection.
Yeah, for sure.
So I haven't really seen it much in years, but I've never had like a super horrible case, or maybe I just have like a extremely strong stomach too, where it doesn't gross me out too much.
My
I don't know.
gosh.
But I have had like regular people where there is buildup. It's not an overly ick amount, but it's like, hey, I do notice there's more buildup this time than normal. So you just want to make sure you're washing them every single day, you know.
When you say wash, do you mean like soap and water wash? Or
yeah, so we have a pH balanced lash formula that deeply cleanses the eyes. And
you just close your eyes and get in the shower?
No, you don't do that. You just paid a lot of money for those lashes.
Wow.
So there's a brush you can buy, or I always tell them, listen, you've probably got an eyeshadow brush at home, clean it really well with some Dawn dish soap, let it dry, use that to wash with your foam soap. And you just kind of, you know, emulsify the lash line with the
so glad that I'm a man.
Brush.
I am. I'm like, wow. I was going to say, I don't have to do any of that stuff.
The pressure.
I actually, sometimes I'm in the mirror shaving in the morning. I'm like, gosh, it's a pain in the ass. And it's like the only thing I have to really do.
It is the pressure on women to get things done consistently, especially the older you get. Mm-hmm. But I really wish, I talked about earlier about how my allergies, I have an unusual allergy to it, but I love them.
It's not unusual. It's actually pretty common.
Is it?
Yeah, it's about 1 in 50 people they can get it over time, or they can get it the first time.
See, that's what the first time when I got it.
Are they allergic to the glue?
Yeah, so there's like polyacrylates and stuff in them that you can have an infection to, or like an allergic reaction to. And then it could also be the carbon black. So I think we tried a few times with different types of adhesives, but I think
I'm just sensitive, Sally.
It's like a hyperimmunity or something that happens. I can't
Probably
think of the correct terminology.
So you actually said men's lashes. Have you not ever done lashes?
I've never gone to do a man's lashes. No.
I'm trying to think.
We've had.
I have an appointment for. She brought everything here.
No. I'm just wondering if guys
brought it all with me.
Yeah. It's probably going to see that
they
downtown
do have
Austin
man lashes.
Do they really?
Yep, they're a softer color than the women's lashes, so they're more of like a gray brown. They're not as curled, so they're like a light curl. They just make them look a little longer. I think it's so that it fits for everybody. Nobody's left out. But I have not gotten the honor to do anybody's yet.
Well,
so if anybody
I bet somebody listening to the show is going to call you up today.
Yeah.
And
come on in.
Get an appointment. Yeah.
You know, what helped you decide to go into this particular industry? Were you exposed to that when you went to Paul Mitchell?
No.
What was it? Like I
was on Indeed. I had just gotten my license, and it was a lash. I don't want to say the name of it. It was a lash studio that's a very common chain. They're kind of everywhere. And they were hiring for a front desk person. And I was like, well, let me go check this out. What's lashes? You know, like, are we putting on just strip lashes? And that's really where I got exposed to it. And I just really fell in love with it. I think the thing I love them, because I always thought I was going to do hair. Since I was a little girl, I thought I was going to be a hairstylist through and through. And so once I started learning about it, I was like, you kind of get the best of both worlds. It's instant gratification, because you're getting a service done. You see it immediately when you set up, just like with hair, but it's more of an aesthetic service because you're laying down. It's calm. It's not like hectic like a hair salon.
It is kind of therapeutic as you're sitting there and you know, you're talking and the client's talking and you kind of getting to know people on a personal level.
And I think, to be honest, in the beginning, the reason I loved it the most was because they weren't staring at me the whole time.
Like when you're cutting somebody's hair, they stare at you in the mirror the whole time.
Yeah, they're just judging the whole time if you're doing it right.
Yeah, that would bother me too.
Well, then I think she said one time that if you talk too much, it jiggles your face too. So you need to not the person that's sitting there.
So how have you had your lashes done then?
How have I?
Yeah, because you can't stop talking for more than about 5 seconds.
Oh, I know. It was very hard.
I bet it was.
It was very hard.
Did you put some of that lash tape on her mouth?
The glue on my mouth.
No, I'm the worst about it, because I'll tell people like, okay, you're not supposed to, we're not going to talk today. And then I'm just like jabber, 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 jabber the whole time. So to be honest, I'm the worst. But I like to tell people that for my team, just so, they're not put in that position. They're great about not gabbing the whole whole time, but I just can't shut up. So
when I go get my teeth cleaned, the woman that does mine, she has a conversation with me, but she never asks me any questions. So she just talks for whatever it takes, 15 or 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I actually like that because when somebody's doing something to you and they ask you a question, it's like, so it's ridiculous trying to answer them. So that's probably what you need to do. No questions, just talk.
No questions.
Yeah. Are lashes, are they always fashionable? Have they come in and out of fashion?
That's a good
So
question.
I think they've really only been around about 15, maybe 20 years. And that's very relative.
These types of lashes.
Yeah. There was 2 companies that were out 15, 20 years ago, and it was very, very basic. They came in pots.
Mm-hmm.
You had to take them out of a pot, throw them on your little palette
Pick
area
'em out.
and try to pick them up. And it was not specialized or customizable at all. So it's come a long way, I would say, within the last 10 years. I'm going into my 9th year, or might be in my 9th year currently. So it's changed drastically since I first started doing it.
There's actually like size, like she has like a little tray and there's sizes. And so she'll choose the sizes, the longer size on the ends, and then kind of go in versus just having these big feathers on your.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Sounds a lot like an art.
It is.
Yeah.
It's very artistic, and you can change someone's eye so much. They're very pretty.
Speaking of art, tell us about your tattoos, my lady, because you're a tatted mama.
Yes.
You have a full sleeve.
Full
on.
sleeve on your-
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
Is that a work in progress?
It's not. It's finished.
It's done.
It is
I
all the
love
way
it.
finished. Yes. So I had this done by an amazing artist in Austin named Karina Figueroa, and it's actually a cover up. You might not be able to tell, but there is 6 tattoos that were lasered while she was also tattooing. So,
Oh, wow.
Yes.
How many sittings is that?
Oh gosh, I think it took us a solid year of going maybe like once a month.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how much can you stand at a time?
I don't talk, actually. It's the only time I shut up. So I get tattooed. It's not terrible, but it's not like the most amazing
There's
feeling in the
different
world.
parts of your arm that have different sensitivities, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The armpit is a rough one.
Yeah, I have
And the
one on my
hand.
shoulder, and when they did on the inside over here, that was pretty painful. Yeah.
Did you
but on the
cry like
outside-
a little baby?
No, but I held on really tight. I was squeezing the chair.
So you have them on your fingers too. Tell me about the ones that are on your fingers.
So those actually came before the sleeve, and I got those maybe like 5 or 6 years ago. And I got them because I stare at my hands all day long. So I wanted positivity symbols on them. So, I got a bunch of positivity symbols on my hands.
Like what? What's positivity?
Well, the cross.
Oh, yeah?
And a lot of this was before I actually became a believer too. So just so we're aware, they're from different belief systems,
Yes.
but like the lotus, the all-seeing eye, the wishbone. Yeah.
That's cool. I like tattoos that have a story, have a meaning behind them.
What is your most favorite tattoo that you have?
My most favorite.
That sleeve is pretty cool.
I would say probably the honeybees that are in the sleeve because they represented my idea for the salon when I first opened it. My theme was going to be bees, and because the bees, when you look at the history of bees, they all surround all the worker bees all surround around one queen, and all the other ones are males. So it's like, it's Queen Bee right
That's
here.
cool. That's really cool. I like that. Yeah.
So that was my whole meaning for it. And
Yeah.
so they're in there.
How old were you when you got your first tattoo?
Not of legal age.
My
My mom was very upset about that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got my first one when I was 55. Yeah. I had always kind of wondered what it was like. I only have 2, but I always kind of wondered what it was like, and then had an opportunity to get one, and I thought,
Are you going to get a full sleeve, Steve?
no.
No?
I know
Is that
a
it?
lady.
Is that it? That's all you're going to get?
I have the Scottish lion and thistle on my left arm, and then I have a phoenix, a rising phoenix on my hip. And I got it down there because I could cover it up like with a swimsuit or something.
And your tramp stamp? What about your tramp stamp?
The tramp stamp, it's just in process. I'm still drawing it. I'm still, Shush.
You're going to get a neck tattoo right here, no regrets.
Yeah.
I have teardrop tattoos.
No, you just cry when you work for me. That's all it is. So Chelsea, you went the sort of trade school route. Mm-hmm. Did anybody in your family try and push you towards like a traditional 4-year college?
I think some people tried to say like, oh, you should go into the medical field. That'll be around forever. Like, you'll be successful in that. But since I was a little girl, my mom used to take me to one of her friends' salons, and I would just sit there. It was like older lady salon.
Oh, yeah.
So they were getting perms and
getting their hair did
the whole time. But
yep.
They were gossiping and talking, and I loved listening to their conversation. And I was like, this is what she does for a living. This is what I want to do.
Yeah,
I just want to talk for a living.
Yeah.
So.
I think there's too many kids that come out of high school and think, oh, I've got to get my 4-year college degree, which, there's a lot to be said for that.
Yeah.
But there's not as many kids think about trade schools. Yeah. And I think there's a lot of opportunity, and your kids have all gone that route.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, Miss Kendall.
Yes.
Yeah. And they're doing fantastic. So I think...
Yeah.
They went trade. So Logan went trade first, and now he graduates in August with his neuroscience degree.
Right.
But he wanted to figure out what he wanted to do first. Mm-hmm. And, I've talked about this before when right out of high school, he was like, I think I'm going to take a gap year. I was like, I don't think so. We're not doing gap year in this house.
I took like a 4 gap year. No, it was a couple.
I'm on year 52 of gap year.
Yeah, you are. What do you love about owning your own business, and what do you hate about it?
The freedom to make my own schedule is amazing, and to be able to service people in ways that maybe they wouldn't normally get a service with anybody, like to be able to say, hey, I'm going to do this special thing for you today just because you've been loyal to me for so long. Like, I love being able to have that freedom. Working for somebody else, you don't really get that freedom. Sure. What do I hate about it? I wouldn't use the word hate, but sometimes having to be the problem solver when you don't know enough is a hard one.
How about having to make decisions? Because ultimately, a lot of times when you own your own business, all the problems go right to the top, and you're the one that has to solve them and fix them.
Right.
I want to know why, of all the places, because I know when you first went out on your own, you were in Austin. You were down off of South Lamar, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Or Westgate area. Why did you choose? This was a decision that you made on your. You weren't forced here in Dripping Springs, but why did you choose to open your business, the big business, here in Dripping Springs?
The goal was always to come back to Dripping Springs. I had to go to Austin for a specific reason for a short period of time. But I love the people here. People are so friendly. It's small town energy, even though it's growing very quickly. I love that for Dripping Springs. I mean, it's great for business too, but I just love the energy of people, how much they love to support their local businesses. And I just wanted to sew back into that and the women in this area.
Yeah. A lot of your clientele were based here in Dripping, and we were driving to Westgate to go because she's so good. Yeah, so we were.
So that loyalty, I was like, I'm coming back to y'all. I'm gonna be closer to you guys. I promise. Like I'm coming back as soon as I'm able to be in the area. I will be, and that loyalty is so important. To drive 45 minutes to come see me every 2 weeks. That's pretty often. Like, it's not like going to get your hair done every 8 to 10 weeks. Like, you're in my chair every 2 weeks, and that means something to me.
So I'm sorry, my man brain's kicking in. How much does it cost every 2 weeks to get your lashes done?
Depends on the experience level of the artist. I won't say my prices, but my girls range from, for a full set of classic lashes, which is like your base, probably about $140.
Every 2 weeks?
No. That's
just your first.
The initial set.
Okay, so then 2 weeks, you're like
60, 65.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
I spend that much one time a year on shampoo and razor blades. That's my whole year.
Basic skills. Yeah. How do you think life is going to change for you in the business once the little Bambino is here?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I just hired a company to coach me in everything I don't know about business and their salon-specific industry. And so we've been working like a cash flow plan and how to plan for my maternity leave, and then how my absence will be felt when I come back, because I'll really step more into a salon manager role than a service provider role.
Yeah.
I'll always keep my core group of women that I've serviced for, 4, 5,
Who's
6
followed
years.
you for years. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll keep servicing them. But after that, I mean, I'm going to really minimize my availability so I can be available to my team to grow them into, all the opportunity that I had to be. I want to use what I've learned to give back to them, grow them, and even future team members.
Is it hard to find lash artists to come out here to Dripping Springs?
I'm super lucky, like super blessed, because the 2 team members that I have right now, I've known for a really long time. Kylie actually went to beauty school with me. She was like a class or 2 below me. So we've known each other about 10 years. And she is an amazing, I call her my little right-hand man, because she does everything to help me. And she takes all my advice and applies it and just keeps growing and growing. I'm super, super proud of her. And Lauren, I actually know because she was a client of mine previously and followed me to Austin. And she wanted to know how to do lashes. She's like, I want to learn this. How do I get licensed? And I told her what school to go to. She went to Avenue 5, just like Kendall. She got licensed. She took certification classes. She shows up every day. She's, she wants it. So I've been super lucky. Now I do need to expand. So I am looking for another person, and that'll be a new experience for me because I haven't found somebody that I've never met before.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So are you real active on social media?
I was going to say the messy part of business. She is.
Yeah.
I actually don't run the social media anymore. Miss Kylie does.
You don't?
No, she does an amazing job. Yeah. She's way more trendy and cool than me. So,
but it was hard. I remember when you first started, and it was like, you're trying to do your business, but yet you have to get your name out there. And it's not like having your name start with A, and you're first in the yellow pages is what it used to be. It's like
she probably doesn't even know what the yellow pages are.
She does. She does. There was a lot of companies that their names were A.
Yeah, it's true.
Car service.
And they would come throw the yellow pages on your front lawn like every 3 months, and everybody,
But social media is such a silly little game.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's always changing, so it's hard to keep up with it.
Is that where you're getting most of your business from? Is from social media?
Yes. Or word of mouth. Word of mouth is our biggest one. Friends tell their friends, they see their lashes. Oh my God, I love your lashes. Where do you go? Here you go. This is where I go. But I would say when I was in Austin, just by myself as a solopreneur, I got most of my clientele from Instagram. And in Dripping Springs, I don't know if it's just the demographic, I get most of my clientele from Facebook and Facebook groups specifically.
Really?
I want to know about the scam. You and I talked about this one time, the scam of Groupon.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Is Groupon even a thing anymore?
It is. It is.
Yeah, I tried it for a short period of time when I first started.
But they take so much.
They take half. And you're already discounting the service to be on Groupon. So really, you're just like covering the business cost.
So if you have $100.
I haven't heard the word Groupon in 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. So, it's a lot of service industry stuff, or like if you're, I don't know, if your experiences, like if you want to go to the museum or something like that. But let's say something cost $100, right? Groupon gets $50 and then they get 50. But I remember, and I know it's probably totally against the what is it, terms of agreement, terms of service or whatever it is. But I have learned that if you call somebody and you say, hey, I see you have a Groupon, would you be willing to give me that same discount? 9 times out of 10, they will, because they're getting a lot more money than
the business will accept that.
You just got us shut down on Apple Podcasts, by the way, Michelle.
Does Apple Podcast Groupon?
I don't know, but I'm sure they're colluding somehow.
Yeah.
Hey, Chelsea, you worked as a barista at Starbucks.
Yes.
How long did you do that?
Almost a year when I was in beauty school.
How was that? Tell us the truth. Are some of the people that come in there just complete a-holes?
I loved working at Starbucks. Yes, I loved making drinks, and I loved the people. Now, I think I liked my Starbucks specifically because we didn't have a drive-through. So it was very regular and I like repeat regular clientele.
Yeah.
So it was repeat people. So I memorized their drink. This is what you want. I'm going to make it for them before they even get up to the register. You know, it was really fun.
Maddie, my daughter-in-law, like she goes and she's like, I want a chai tea with 8 pumps of blah, blah, blah. And I want it extra hot. And I'm like, oh girl, like you are something.
I was reading something about that the other day, that there are people now going in and they just order, I want a black coffee.
I get Starbucks phobia when I go in.
Well,
I'm like,
do too.
Oh,
yeah, it's like,
is it medium?
Am I gonna order
is it a grande?
I know.
What is it? What am I supposed to order? And then like you get the judgy eyes behind you. And
this story I was reading, they were talking about, you just go up and I go, I just want a venti black coffee, and then they put you and they go, what's your name? And they go, I don't need you to write the name on the cup. Can't you just turn around and put the coffee in the cup and give it to me? I don't want to wait in line. You wait 20 minutes, you know, because of all these people doing these venti, half calf,
8
decaf,
pumps,
almond
this,
milk.
that.
I would say it would mostly be like the younger kids, like the teenagers that are like, oh, I want the secret menu item. And like Starbucks doesn't really have a secret menu that they teach us. It's just people coming up with drinks on their own and discovering it and saying like, oh, I want this. There's no set secret menu that Starbucks memorizes.
What's your favorite Starbucks drink? What is your go-to?
Well, first I'm going to say Summer Moon is my favorite.
Yeah, me too. Summer Moon for me. Oh yeah, for
So I
sure.
don't really order Starbucks anymore, but if I have to, I really like their, they have a chestnut praline one that I'll do like super
That
half
actually
sweet.
sounds pretty good.
Yeah, like half sweet, more of like a whole milk kind of situation.
That Summer Moon stuff is like crack moon.
Crack.
It is. And have you had their frozen hot chocolate? Oh, it's so good.
But I should, because I shouldn't be drinking caffeine right now.
Well, it probably has some caffeine in it, but it's delicious.
I think it's mostly milk.
But the Summer
sugar.
Moon, the Summer Moon is like a sweetened condensed milk. It's like different. The moon milk, I think is what they call it.
I think
right?
they sweeten it with 7 different types of sweeteners or something
good.
like that. Yeah.
It's so good.
It might be condensed milk.
Yeah, I was reading about a Starbucks drink. I think it's called a dragon fruit slush or something like that. Had 54 grams of sugar in it, which is like 3 Cokes.
Oh my goodness.
in a 16 ounce.
I think that's even worse than Red Bull.
I think so. Yeah, I think you're right. And then way back, you worked at some farm, Elegant Farmer in.
Yeah,
how do you say that? How do you say that? Mukwonago, Wisconsin. I'm putting them on the map.
My stepmom was a manager there, and so it was my first job. I think
Nepo
I was 16.
baby, you little Nepo baby.
Yeah, nepotism.
Oh, I think we all worked there, so it might have been a requirement that we had to work there.
Slave labor.
But I loved it. It was really fun. I worked in the deli, so I literally was like packing cheese curds, if y'all know what those are.
Oh, I love cheese curds.
Packing cheese curds, and it's the squeaky cheese. Do you not know what it is?
He's not
know
a cheese
I'm not a
person,
cheese
Chelsea.
person.
He's there's
Anything
something
with milk and lactose in it is not my friend.
but it cannot be your friend for 15 minutes, but at the moment it's your friend. It's your best friend.
I was reading on the website for the Elegant Farmer that they have the best apple pie in America, and they bake it in a paper bag.
Yes.
What the heck does that mean?
Okay, definitely look it up. It's amazing.
Okay.
But they bake it in a brown paper bag and they roll it and close it so it does get puffed up. I think it just helps the topping. They've got like a special apple pie topping they put on it, and it makes it like a crispy, more of like a crispy, I don't want to say burnt. It's not burnt, but
interesting.
like
there it is right there.
Flavor it gives it.
Yummy.
I wonder if you can order them online, Michelle.
You can.
Oh, let's do it.
I think they're kind of expensive, but do it.
I just
because it's
ordered
amazing.
$300 of Rudy's barbecue yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
Well, actually, I'm sorry. I ordered $200 of Rudy's barbecue, and it was $100 of it was FedEx. I'm sending it.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sending it to Tate for his MCAT. So.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You can send Rudy's in the mail?
They
freeze
cold.
pack it
Yeah,
or
they
something?
cold pack it.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I think that's what they do with the pies as well.
this looks.
But, oh my gosh, they beat Bobby Flay in his
That's what
Showdown
he.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yep, I was there during that. That was a fun one.
It's lunchtime. I'm getting
All
hungry.
food wise.
Yes,
I'm starving.
I worked there when I was 16, and then I went back to work there when I was 18, and it's how I bought my first car. I saved every single paycheck for 6 months to buy my first car.
I want you to tell me a little bit about Dimitri, and this is your husband.
Yeah.
And what he
man.
does.
Oh, yeah. He owns his own company as well. He's also in a trade. He's a welder. Well, his 9-to-5 job is sales, and he sells construction material, but his passion is welding. And so he's
very talented.
All kinds of things.
Really?
He surprises me. Sometimes I'm like, you know how to do that? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, where did you learn that? I don't know. And he's just amazing with it.
You know what he should do is offer some classes. It's been on my bucket list to learn how to weld since I was a kid, and I just have never really had the opportunity.
He's done some really cool stuff. I'll share with you his Instagram page, some of the stuff. The what are they
hand
called?
Railing,
but the flower beds. The
I think it's Corten steel.
They're so so cool.
They kind of look like rusted a little bit. Yeah.
And Chelsea, you just got your motorcycle license a couple years ago?
I did. He's a Harley man through and through. His whole family are big Harley people.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I'm going to be cool too. I'm going to go get my motorcycle license. So I went to Harley, Cowboy Harley Davidson, and it's like a 3-day class, and I took it and I passed, and it was fun. And then when it was time for me to be on my own Harley, I was like, I'm chicken. I can't do this.
I'm too scared.
But I got it. I went and did the licensing.
It's pretty cool. It's I've got mine 10 or 12 years ago. The class is fun, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Did you do it on like a smaller motorcycle, the riding portion? Yeah.
They have a specific one that they do their classes on, and they don't sell that one because I'm like, can I just buy this motorcycle? Yeah. So I have an Iron 883, and it's a beautiful motorcycle, but it just sits and I never ride it.
You got to go out on some of the back roads out here where it's
now
safe
she's with child.
I know.
Oh, well, yeah.
Just big old pregnant lady on it.
Yeah, she's with
10 years
Harley.
from now, yeah.
No, I told my husband, I was like, you can keep it or, you can sell it. I don't know. He loves them though.
Yeah. And part of your family is chickens too.
Yeah, they're new. It's a
Did
new
you just
family.
get them? Oh.
Yeah, I've never had chickens before.
How many did you get?
I got 10.
Oh,
That's
wow, you're
great,
starting off
right?
big, yeah.
Wow.
I heard about this thing called chicken math where you're like, okay, I'm going to get 5 and then we get 1 rooster and then you get there and they have like a special deal. So you're like, okay, I'm going to get 5 more. And that's what I did.
That's exactly what happens. Wow.
Yes. And they're cute.
Yeah. And you have a big coop in your backyard?
So my mother-in-law has one. We live on her property and my husband's papa, so his grandfather, built her a coop and it's a really nice coop.
That's
and it's
cool.
just been sitting for a couple years. So I told her, I was like, hey, can we get chickens? And she's like, yeah. So
They're
I went
fun,
and picked
aren't
up
they?
some. They're so adorable and they grow so fast.
They do. Holly has 2 and we just sit out in the backyard. They stay in the coop most of the day, but we'll let them out and they run around the yard and they're just so fun to watch, chasing bugs and stuff.
And you have a predator that is watching him like a hawk.
Yeah, literally. Hayden the hawk. He just camps out around our property, just watching and waiting. He's sitting up in the trees and on the fence, but we never let him out when we're not out there. So we're always there. But they're fun, and the eggs are freaking awesome.
Yeah,
and you get enough from your 2?
Holly won't eat our chicken's eggs, so she eats the HEB. I know, but I'll eat our chicken's eggs, and we just get 2 a day.
That's cute.
That's all right. So,
watch me end up being that one. I have a favorite. Her name is Nugget, and she's the smallest.
Aww.
She's a blue copper Moran, and I just like pick her up and walk around with her. My husband's like, "What are you doing with the chicken?"
Holly does that. Holly, I'll walk out there sometimes, and she's got one in the crook of her arm, and she's petting it, and the chickens just lay there like falling asleep.
No,
while she's
Holly
petting
brought him to Founders. We had a booth at Founders,
that's
and
right.
Holly had him at
when
Founders.
they were little. Then.
Yeah,
they were real little. Yeah.
And one
Do
of
they have
them
chicken leashes. Is that a thing?
Well,
We actually have chicken leashes, but she hasn't been able to get them on the chickens yet.
Oh, please! You need to work on that so we can walk around Founders with the chickens.
I think she loves her chickens too much. She wouldn't take that chance that some dog or something would get, or some kid would get them.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
worry about my dogs.
Yeah.
I got 2 blue healers, and I'm afraid they're going to try to get them.
That's the thing about dogs, that instinct kicks in, and I don't care how well trained your dog is, they will lose their minds when they're around chickens. When they have, we had this black lab, and she must have killed 6 chickens before I could stop her, and I was screaming and yelling and throwing things at her, and she just was like, her eyes glazed over, and she just lost it. So
I think that's my older boy. I think he was like shaking the other day watching him. I was like, you're creeping me out, dude.
That's what happens. Yeah, that instinct kicks
I did
in.
get a rooster though to protect him, so that's where my 11th one comes in. I have 10 hens and a rooster.
Hopefully, it's a mean rooster. There are some roosters that are very passive, but there are some that are you don't want them too mean where they come after you.
Yeah.
But I have to tell you that Tracy Lamont's story about her rooster that attacked her like 5 or 6 times and a shotgun. So
oh, bless.
There's a story there.
I want to ask you kind of a real personal question. What scares you the most about becoming a mom right now in this day and age?
Protecting him from society and what is going on in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's, I mean, I still have that. My youngest is 22.
Yeah.
You know?
We are even considering like more private school and I know you can't completely shelter your children from everything that's out there. I just want to be able to be the one to teach him about those things.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree.
And educate
at the
him.
time that you want to teach him about it.
Yeah, when it's right.
I think that's one of the problems I have with society today is we're treating a lot of our young kids like adults, like 6-year-olds. We're talking to them like adults. They're not ready for that yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, there are certain conversations that you have when they're mature enough. And I think we're doing it at too young an age for some of them.
And I think you can be like realistic with your children, but at the same time, I don't want them to not have a childhood, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. You want them to enjoy their childhood.
Yeah. I had an amazing childhood. And, you know, I think in part because my parents are older than most people my age parents. And so we didn't have like electronics. I didn't have a cell phone really in high school, even though they existed. We didn't have a laptop or computer. So it was very much like go outside, play, you know, hang out with your friends. You know, we had a house phone, but I wasn't sitting on an electronic all day long. So I want my kids to be able to go outside and run around and play on.
Exactly.
I used to lock the door and say, there's a hose. You got water. There's a bathroom out there. There's a tree.
Yeah.
Go play. And I just like think, do little girls play with Barbies anymore, or everything? Is it just so over sexualized now? Everything is so over sexualized. Yeah. Am I allowed to, you know, when my kids start having kids, am I allowed to give my granddaughter a baby doll, or have I misappropriated the gender because I gave him a baby doll, you know, or it's just so like, it's just stop.
When she's 2, you have to let her decide baby doll or Tonka truck.
You know what? My kids, no, I would punch my kids in the face is what I would do.
I worry about it. And I'm seeing it a lot with my niece. She's 11. She'll be 12 on the 19th or 20th. I always get her and my brother's birthdays mixed up. And she grew up so quickly, and it makes me sad, you know, that she didn't really get that experience. But I don't think I ever saw her playing with Barbie dolls. I don't think she was ever into that.
I played with Barbie dolls.
Imagination
a long time.
is one of the most valuable things a kid can have.
Yeah.
And when you're having plugged into a phone, they don't get to use their imagination.
Well, yeah, or you go, now you're sitting in a restaurant. We were talking about this the other day, Steve, when you go to a restaurant nowadays and babies have iPads in front of them.
Oh, I know.
My kids, like, I was like, we'd bring Play-Doh, cars, whatever it is. It's like they need to learn how you're in a socialization, or you're being socialized, right?
You just hit on something. I think that's the thing that a lot of parents are forgetting. Every minute of every day is a place for a child to learn.
Absolutely.
To learn from you. When you're walking around HEB, I saw a kid the other day who's following his dad 3 steps behind him on his phone, just playing some game. It's like, you can teach your kid about money, about finances, about shopping, about how to pick out fruit and vegetables. I mean,
what you need to make a meal.
Yeah, exactly.
This item,
Every minute is a learning opportunity, and we're plugging these kids into these electronic devices where they don't have the chance to learn them.
And all they're doing is just watching everything, getting all their information from behind a screen. They're talking about how these kids younger and younger are having headaches and eye issues because of the screens.
I'm sure
as well too.
I always wonder if there's going to be a backlash against that, you know, against this modern society where we're all plugged into all these things all the time. I don't know if there will be or not, but maybe there should be.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So last question, Chelsea, what's next for you? Besides the baby.
Being a mom. What's next for me? I think training and education. I really want to bring on a training program to help other lash artists in the area, not necessarily anybody that wants to work at our salon, but, you know, there's a lot of miseducation out there. There is a loophole in becoming licensed as a cosmetologist or an esthetician to provide lash services, and you don't actually have to do a practical exam to show that you know what you're doing. So if you have a license to do cosmetology or aesthetics, you can do lashes even if you've never done it before. And so I'd like to provide like a group or an ongoing membership or something like that to other lash artists in the community, outside of the community, to come and hang out with us and learn what we're doing too.
Yeah.
That's a goal of mine.
Giving back to the people that have given to you.
And helping the industry, right? Because if there's uneducated lash artists performing services, people are probably thinking this is something that is damaging me or damaging my lashes. So I'm not going to get the service, and I'm going to tell everybody that too, which it's not true. It's just somebody that doesn't know what they're doing. So,
well, I've learned a ton.
I know. Are you just going to go
I'm a little shell shocked
when you take
actually.
your shower next? You're just going to think in your dial soap.
I was like, oh, do I have mites in my eyes?
to wash my lashes.
Yeah. Well, Chelsea, this was fun, and I wish you all the success with your new son and your business.
Thank you.
And hopefully we'll see you at Founders Day.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
This was fun.
This show has been brought to you in part by the real estate pros at the Mallet Integrity Team. When you're looking to buy or sell, you need them on your side. Why settle for less when you can have real estate done right? Give them a call at 512-829-2062 or get more info at malletintegrityteam.com.
You know you like us, so go now to Apple Podcast or Spotify and leave us a review. Why don't ya? We love your feedback and comments. Email us at malletandmichelle@gmail.com.
Thanks for putting up with us.